I know, I'm still alive. I'm just as surprised as the rest of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that time of the year to where everything's starting to wrap up, and we put a nice little bow on everything as it is, and quite frankly, just have a reflection of who we were over the year. And that is no different in my case. You'll have to pardon some of the breaths and speeches. I'm slowly working on getting better at just not having to breathe into the mic, so it is what it is for now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not care what holiday that you celebrate. I personally prefer Christmas, but you can celebrate Kwanzaa, you can celebrate Hanukkah. It's not of my decision to say you can, but with respect to whatever you celebrate, I hope you do have a merry time of it. And I could say the same thing for having a fruitful new year. I can tell you that for me, I've learned two lessons when it comes to this year. First and foremost, say what's on your mind and then just let it rest. This, for me, comes into a little bit of territory that I should have learned growing up, but it is better late than never for me to actually learn this. And it was no more heavily emphasized with the recent event that I kinda sorta got myself into. Keep in mind, this is still a microscopic channel. Like, this is for all intents and purposes a dead, if not a very, very, very minimal output channel. But I said my piece. I stood by it, and I will admit I did feel bad for maybe like a week, forgot it happened. And then we found out 3 months later that the individual that I was talking about actually truly is a piece of garbage. But moving on past that, I'm sorry if I have to repeat it again. I just feel vindicated over that. If you have an opinion, check Raj, understood. Opinions are like assholes. Not everybody wants to hear it, but say what's on your mind. Let it float around in the free arena of ideas. And sometimes, especially if you're getting up there in age, all you have to do is just sit and wait, because 9 times out of 10, if you can recognize patterns, you're going to be able to tell you're going to be right in the long run. And quite frankly, 2 ways to go about it. You can be a smug asshole about it, which is where I'm starting to veer off into, or you can just sit there with silent content. The choice is yours. Second lesson that I have learned, and this is in regards to what I was originally trying to use this channel for. It is to not make promises that I cannot keep. Now, when I first started this channel, this was way back of last year, technically like a year and a half ago. But when I first started this channel, the general idea was to have something of an output, because everybody, like I said, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody wants to put something out there. And that's what I tried with this channel. I had to back it off because, quite frankly, I was just screaming into the wind and I wasn't really seeing any improvement. Then I got back into the channel, tried to use it as a creative output, and then from there I kind of fell apart, and I devolved a little bit into a slop channel, and then I just fell apart from there. That was not the right way to go about it. Now, I'm saying all of this only to emphasize that YouTube, for me, very clearly is not a job. I personally don't think YouTube should be a main source of income. It should be an additive, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to sit here and make the promise that I will do better on my channel. If I do better, that's great. If not, then oh well. However, I do want to, if I can have a moment of your time, like I haven't already taken like 5 of it so far, I do want to encourage others, as well as myself, to say, hey, look, you have the ability to make one of these channels for free. Put yourself out there. And that's one of the things that I hope in the future that I can accomplish, whether it be in the creative aspect, whether it be in just slop channel aspects, or whether it just be probably in 3D printing aspects, as I've come to actually enjoy the hobby a little bit more than normal. To wrap this whole thing up in a nice little bow, it's getting to the end of the year. Hopefully a lot of you have had a fruitful 2025, and if not, I'm not going to apologize, but I can say there's always next year to improve. Look at your mistakes you've made over the year, realize how you want to do better, and start making baby steps in the right direction. Do not try to take it whole hog, because that's how people quit and that's how people mess up. Just make baby steps in the right direction. Eventually, those baby steps will get you to where you want to be or where you need to be. Past that, screen almost went dark. But before that, I do want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. or Happy Hanukkah, whichever you choose to celebrate. Be happy with whom you have around you, because goodness knows they might not be there next year. And you might not be here next year either, so why not just go out being the best you can be? Just my 2 cents. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. I'm out.